Hello, I'm Pastor Jim Hill, First Baptist Church of Naples, and we just had a Cache Connection live event here, and we're just wrapping up the Saturday morning part of it, and it was great. We had a good turnout last night. You know, we'd hoped for a lot more, but the word is, as people were leaving, said we're going to tell everybody what they missed, and so I would encourage you to consider having Cache Connection live at your church, and considering learning what they can offer you and your people. And they brought some great speakers. I'll throw in a word for Drs. Tom and Beverly Rogers. They were the ones that we had speakers at this time, and they were awesome as well. Our people really loved them. And again, what we did here on Saturday morning, we had the Rogers come back and speak to the church leadership of area churches and all, and that was really good and helpful as well. Cache Connections was able to talk to other area church leaders about what's going on here. And again, I would encourage you to consider doing something extra like that.
Yeah, especially in Florida. We want to come back to Florida, right?
Yeah.
Thanks,
Sunny,
Jim.
beautiful Florida.
Yeah.
Love. Thank you, Cache Connections.
All right.
There, we have the oldest and the largest singles population in the history of our country. It is the largest group to minister to in the church. They are in your church. They're hiding. They're hiding because they're tired and sad on Sunday morning watching, you know, Fred and Wilma sing hymns like this, and she's rubbing her hand up and down his back, and she's picking fuzz off him, and Single sitting behind going, I'll never have that, you know, or I did and I lost it. Yeah, he's dating Fifi, she's 20. And so that's very disillusioning for them. But so what? So you know, Fred's not going to we're not going to, you know, divide them by demographics. And then the second thing he said is, we will not encourage online dating. The devil's work. And I said, you do know that they don't do anything without going online. They buy their toothpaste online. They buy their notebook paper online. This generation cannot live. I mean, you unplug them, you may as well cut their head off. So if they're going to do everything online, then maybe rather than thinking that it's evil and dark, let's create something that's truly of God. Yes, there are horror stories of people who go online. It's one of the, just like every single thing with the internet, it got out there before it got governed. And so there was no sanctions on it, so look at the stuff that's out there. But I still love Billy Graham when they ask him, why do you think the gospel in this generation is so prolific? And bless his heart, he goes, the internet. And the interviewer said, well, don't you think that can be used for evil? And he goes, sure do. That's why we're using it for good. I love that. I love that.
You know, we're asked all the time, why Cache Connections? What makes you different than the other online dating websites out there? Well, you know, one of the things people say they like about Cache Connections the most is that we are so much more than a website. You know, a cold, hard computer system. We are real people. We are committed Christians ourselves with a God-inspired vision who truly care about their members.
Also, many of you are probably here because you're committed to meeting another like-minded believer. It's very clear from the outset of joining Cache Connections that this site is for Christians who desire to be equally yoked. Everyone must agree or disagree with 4 basic faith statements when signing on to the site, and their answers shows up at the top of their profile so members will know if they share that same faith foundation.
Yeah, we have heard comments from Christian singles who share with us that it can be lonely out there, which sometimes can lead to feelings of desperation, which can cause them to compromise on their standards. So Cache Connections wants to give you hope to continue to follow God's path when forming relationships.
Well, we mentioned that it's of utmost importance to us to help singles form healthy relationships. We know it's a tall order, but we've heard from many singles that Cache Connections is fulfilling this vision. So how do we help singles become aware of some of these issues that could be holding them back from successful relationships? For starters, we've partnered with several relationship experts who are well-known and respected counselors, authors, and speakers who provide advice through many avenues. They provide articles on our website, speak at our events, and conduct expert-led chats on the website. In fact, we recently heard from one gentleman who attended one of our events. He told us that he was able to move forward with his engagement because of the advice he received from the speaker who addressed an issue that had been holding him back. And let's not forget to mention that the website questionnaire is a teaching tool in itself, providing relationship advice throughout, and it also guides members to think about who they are, who it is they're looking for, and how to date intentionally. It was formulated with the assistance of Drs. Tom and Beverly Rogers, who are relationship experts, authors, and speakers, and they've been featured on Focus on the Family. People sometimes say that online dating takes too much time, but it actually can save a lot of time and possibly wasted emotions. If you consider the fact that you can review a lot of information about a person before you even choose to contact him or her.
Another aspect that separates Cache Connections from the crowded e-world of online dating is that we also have live events, which include everything from large events to 8-on-8 dinner parties and Christian speed dating. Our events tab at Cache Connections is usually really full with events from lots of different areas. So we encourage you to check it out and let us know if you would like to contact your church about holding their own Cache Connections event. So we encourage you to give Cache Connections a try and step out and see what God's got in store.
Hi, I'm Kelly. I first heard about Cache Connections about 1.5 years ago when they had a live event in Naperville, Illinois. And I went by myself and had a great time, was able to help them out at the registration table, and we found that that was a really good fit for each other. So I've been helping them out at their events ever since. And it worked out for me because an event that I helped host in about 3-4 months ago in Homewood, Illinois, I met Glenn.
Hi, I'm Glenn, and I learned about Cache Connections actually this past New Year's Eve. I went to a live event at Calvary Church in Naperville, and just learned about it. There was a special, and thought it was a great thing, and the Lord was really working on my heart about that, and that's just a confirmation that I needed from the Lord that this was the way to go.
We were officially matched online in January, but I took one look at him and decided that while I would like to get to know him better, there was no way that he was going to be interested in me, so I didn't pursue it.
Well, like Kelly said, back in January we were originally matched up, but I had a couple concerns when I looked at her profile. One of them was the distance. We live about an hour or so apart, so that was a big concern for me. And also, one of the concerns is that she stated that she didn't want to have kids, and I do.
But as we were looking at each other's profiles, God was working in my life and working in my heart to change my heart. And about 3 or 4 days before Glenn and I met in person for the first time, I went in and changed my profile because God had showed me that I really do want to have a family.
I would just tell anyone that the biggest thing is that you actually have, well, like me, I stepped out in faith and said, you know, maybe I'll find someone, maybe I won't. It's not a guarantee, and I would say take that leap of faith and just, you know, put it in the Lord's hand, and He will provide for you just like He provided for us using Cache.